Dan Williams, Thrive Outdoors. So, thanks again. Happy New Year, huh? January 2nd. I really appreciate that we got over 1,000 subscribers. And this is really a good time to kind of set up a stage of what I do specifically and what I'm offering everyone. So, I had a subscriber send me a video and wanted my opinion about what I thought about a gentleman talking about hypothermia. And I need that. I need you guys to send me videos, send me questions. You know, what do you want to hear? What do you want to look at? What do you want me to delve into? I tell my patients, if I don't know it, if I can't figure out the diagnosis, I'm going to get you to somebody that's going to figure it out. And kind of the same way here. And I do wilderness medicine videos when you're in the backwoods hiking and how you can help yourself and prevent getting injured, and some gear reviews. I know a little bit about bushcraft, but I'm not a bushcrafter. I know a little bit about prepping, and I'm not a prepper. So I really try to stay in my lane. It's when people out there get out of their lane and they give misinformation, and then it gets ugly and actually can cause harm. So let's get into a review of some of the things that you need to be aware of this time of the year with that polar vortex and hypothermia and signs and symptoms. So, hypothermia, for the most part, we're talking about 3 stages: mild, moderate, severe. Severe hypothermia is you walk up on somebody, forget about it, they are out of it, they are not conscious, and their temp is around 87 degrees or less Fahrenheit. Now, between 97 degrees Fahrenheit and 93 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere in there, you're going to be starting to develop mild and moderate signs of hypothermia. When that happens, at some point, you will lose consciousness. You may lose consciousness at 95. It depends on all the variables: your health, how good a shape you're in, what illnesses you have, how are you layered, the type of, were you immersed in water, were you not, and all of those variables. And I have, at the end of this video, I'm going to put my 2 hypothermia videos on there, and hopefully that'll help when we talk about rewarming and how to do that. So, in mild hypothermia, and this is really probably going to, I would say the vast majority of individuals out there hiking, snow skiing, winter camping, this is the area that you really need to pay attention to. What are the signs and symptoms of mild hypothermia? And there's a list. I mean, we're talking about a runny nose, and you get a runny nose with a cold. So how accurate is that? So my point being is you need you look for a constellation of signs and symptoms. So the gentleman on this video was talking about, this is called opposition. Can your thumb opposing? And actually it was, the true definition of that is with your middle finger. Can someone oppose? And we're checking basically radial nerve, and do they have good motor movement, and can they touch the tips of their fingers? So this gentleman was saying, well, this is really an indicator for losing fine motor and whether or not you're experiencing mild hypothermia. No, it's not good at all. And here's one of the many reasons why. If you have osteoarthritis and this joint down here is really deteriorating, and that joint down here, that bone is called the scaphoid bone, and actually this surgery and shoulder surgery are in the top 3 for replacements. So I actually had this bone taken out, and I can just barely touch the tip of my little finger. So if someone has osteoarthritis and you just use this as a measuring gauge, how accurate is that? So if you're with your partner and you're concerned about them being hypothermic, what you have to look for are things like, do they have a rapid heartbeat? That's going to be first. Later, they'll get a slower heart rate. So in the beginning stages of mild hypothermia, you're going to see flush face, swelling under the eyes, excuse me, you're going to see a decrease in fine motor ability. They cannot button their coat. They cannot zip their coat up. I've even had a partner of mine, we were duck hunting years ago, and I had him, I said, let me see you pick up some of these small rocks. Pick them up, tiny rocks. And just pick them up, let me see you pick them up. He couldn't do it. So I said, that's it, we're heading in. So I've talked about fine motor, and let's run through some of the symptoms that you're going to get with mild hypothermia. Shivering, or you shiver to stay warm, but you also you shiver when you're cold. So if someone's just shivering, you can't jump to the conclusion of hypothermia. So, but shivering is a symptom. This vein here, the jugular vein, if you're laying flat on the ground and this sucker starts bulging out, that can be a sign of hypothermia. The facial swelling, flushing of the face, swelling under the eyes, runny nose, bloody nose. But again, just that symptom doesn't make someone have hypothermia. Slurred speech, lethargy, initially you get the rapid heartbeat, and then as it gets more severe, you get a slower heart rate, decreased urine output. All of those are signs of mild hypothermia. So in the beginning, and someone's getting mildly hypothermic, you need to look at how they are presenting. You know, all of those different little symptoms. They may have 3 or 4, they may have a couple, but that is your red flag to look for, are these mild signs of hypothermia. Hope that helps. Hope that's more concise. Check out the videos on hypothermia that I'm going to put at the end of the video. Stay safe. Keep your eyes on the rise and your face to the wind.